Good morning, everybody. My name is Apollo, and welcome to Kyle is Famous. So I know nothing about this game. Really, I don't. When I found it on Steam, I was just like, that sounds interesting. So I was like, might as well make a video out of it. So Kyle wakes up. He's famous. Kyle's the host of the most popular talk show in recent memory, Stay Up Late with Kyle. Stay Up Late with Kyle has grown in popularity quickly in the last year, and the public has noticed. Inside has called Kyle a most excellent dumpy white man. So me. All right. Thanks. Thanks, game. Thanks for attacking me personally. Top Tech noted that Kyle is inspiring youth to explore STEM fields. Nice. Most other talk shows are dedicated to discussing Kyle and his personal details. Most online videos are best of clips taken from Kyle's latest broadcast. The eye of the world is upon Kyle. Tonight is Kyle's most important guest interview yet. Stay Up Late with Kyle will be featuring Rachel May. She is kind and a lovely philanthropist. Philanthropist. She is dear to the hearts of many. The interview requires preparation. Kyle cracked his eyes open, knowing today could be his last chance to prepare for the interview. Kyle has 30 hours. He must choose his actions wisely. Start prepping. Kyle's first decision in the morning was made wisely. We're going to wither away. Kyle decided to stay put and wither away. Kyle withdrew successfully and died. Kyle is now a ghost. This does not relieve him of his responsibilities. Get out of Beth anyways. Kyle exited his bed and took a glance around his bedroom. Opened the closet, sit at the desk, scavenge, exit bedroom into hallway. Let's sit at my desk. Actually, no. Let's open the closet. See if I can get some ghost clothes. Kyle opened the closet. It was dark and he could only really see his hanging shirts. Choose an outfit. Kyle decides to take some time to choose the perfect outfit, knowing how important appearance is. Skunk pasties, jeans, and swimming goggles. Let's do a slick suit. Kyle miraculously crammed his dumpy body into the suit. The chest pockets were filled with random knickknacks. Back to my room. Kyle returned to the center of the room. We're going to sit at desk. Kyle made his way over to his desk and sat down. Write notes for interviews. Back to room, checking desk drawer. Let's write notes. Kyle wrote down his first question. Are you a mother? Is your mother a mother? Am I a mother? Are you a mother? Kyle wrote down his second question. What are some diet tips? Beef, mashed or blended? Ever eaten raw egg cold? What are some diet tips? Kyle wrote down his third question. What's your funniest story? Do you ever smile? I purposely ran over. What's your funniest story? Kyle wrote down his last question. What's your guilty pleasure? Do you feel guilty? Are you guilty? Are you guilty? He ripped off the page of notes out of his notebook, got it from his desk, back to desk. Kyle made his way over to his desk and sat down, checking gesture. Kyle opened up side drawer of the desk and grabbed one of the items stored there. Small key, sort of change. Small key. Kyle grabbed the small key and kept it. What he kept in his desk. Okay. Back to room. Exit bedroom. Kyle walked in the small hallway that connects the room of his apartment together. Check lock door. Leave apartment. Ooh. Check the lock door. Kyle walked over the strange door in his hallway, but found quickly that door was locked. Fly through as a ghost. Kyle uses ghostly powers to walk straight through the door. Go inside. Kyle found himself in a room. He stashed his various items that sent to him by fans. Check the sewing machine. Kyle walked over to the dilapidated sewing machine. Its box was already half removed. Kyle found himself in the room he stashed. Okay, back to hallway. Kyle walked to this small hallway. Moved to kitchen. Leave apartment. Kyle walked out into the middle of the road, and took a long pondering look around him. Visit downstairs neighbor. Visit tech store. Visit tech store? Kyle walked into the clean white tech store. He was greeted by Techno Jim, an elaborate cutout mascot with flashing lights. Ask attendant for free samples. Let's steal Techno Jim. Quickly before the attendant could acknowledge him, Kyle gripped Techno Jim by the shoulders. Finding the Techno Gym cardboard feet were bolted to the ground, Kyle started to pull upwards forcefully. After several tugs, Technogym broke free, leaving one foot and one leg behind. Kyle hurried to the set. Per normal, he ceased to be a ghost before he arrived. Sitting across his host chair was a glamorous woman with an air of genuity. As Kyle approached her, Rachel looked up and smiled. "Good evening, Kyle," she said, looking him in the eyes. "I've been looking forward to being here." Interview Technogym had said, "No, as much as I would love to." Kyle responded, "Scream and spin in circles. Answer politely. As well, Rachel." He answered Kyle, extending his hand in a greeting. "You are most welcome guests. Shake hands." After other mild exchanges of pleasantries, Kyle and Rachel were prompt to take their places for the broadcast. A moment after seating, the studio's lights brightened and the cameras clicked on. Start broadcast. "Good evening, everyone," said Kyle, looking at the camera. "Welcome back to Stay Up Late with Kyle." Introduced Rachel. "Tonight, I have the pleasure of interviewing the lovely Rachel May, who needs no more introduction." Kyle motioned to Rachel, who smiled and waved to the camera. "Hello, Kyle," she said. "I'm glad to be here." In response, Kyle collapsed on the floor. From a combustion of stress, preparing and not eating anything, Kyle's passed out. Nobody in the studio knew quite what to do with him. They began to poke Kyle in the back to see if he moved. After a while, they ended the broadcast, shut off the lights, and went home. Kyle was left face first on the floor. Kyle had prepared by starving himself. All right, we're not going to wither away this time. We're going to open the closet. We're going to choose our outfit. We'll get the slick suit. Okay. We're going to sit at the desk. We're going to write notes. Are you a mother? Diet tips. What's your funniest story? Are you guilty? Back to desk. Back to room. I'm going to eat breakfast this time. Move to kitchen. Open fridge. Open the fridge and try to find something. Cross on fridge wall. No. Eat the fridge. No. Prepare breakfast. Let's prepare breakfast. Kyle prepared a breakfast of poached eggs and toast along with small fruit, cup, and grilled sausage. Eat it. Kyle ate his breakfast slowly and thoughtfully, enjoying every bite. He felt refreshed. Returned to the kitchen. Kyle walked to the center of the kitchen. Returned to the hallway. Move to kitchen. Check locked door. We'll leave my apartment. Kyle walked out of the middle of the road and took a long, pondering look. We'll visit the tech store. Ask the attendant for free samples. Ask the store attendant whether or not they offered any free samples to important customers. The attendant gave Kyle a confused and slightly vacant look. Kyle began to beg for a free sample. Wanting Kyle to leave the desk, the attendant grabbed the Durapit phone meant for spare parts and held it out. "I'm going to grab it with my hand." Kyle took the phone pleasantly from the outstretched hand and said quietly, "Thank you for your service." Kyle now has this phone to be used forevermore. Kyle walked into the clean white tech store. He greeted by Technogym, an elaborate cutout mascot with flashing lights. Give review for my free sample. "This phone," said Kyle, "is several years old and its exposed wires coming out of the back." Kyle continued, "The phone also had screen issues after I used it to hammer nails into the wall for a painting." Kyle heard it said. This game's so stupid and I love it. Sitting across from his host chair was Rachel. Answer politely. Shake hands. I want to get this correct the first time. "Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. Tonight I have the pleasure. I'm glad to be here." "Well, I'm sure we'll have lots to discuss, so we might as well dive right in," said Kyle. "I'm very ready," said Rachel with a winning smile. Kyle produced the notes he had taken earlier. Are you a mother?" "Rachel, I and many others would love to know. Are you a mother?" Kyle looked up from his notes. "Well, being a single woman with a career," she answered, "that's not something that has crossed my mind." Rachel smiled genuinely at Kyle. "Very reasonable indeed," said Kyle. He referenced his paper of questions. Kyle asked another question. What's your funniest story?" "You've been involved in a lot of different things," said Kyle, "but what's your favorite story?" "Well, that's a great question, Kyle," said Rachel. "I think the story I always remember is the first time I tried to make dinner for my family. In the soup I made, I swapped out the water with milk and tipped the whole jar of salt into the pot. While my family was sick from trying to eat it, I swiped their things and locked myself in my room." Rachel laughed elegantly. Kyle decided to move on. Kyle asked, "Are you guilty? Rachel, are you guilty?" Kyle threw his questions on the floor, stood up, and pointed at her. Rachel's eyes twitched slightly. "Guilty of what, dear Kyle?" She smiled delusionously. "Guilty," spat Kyle, "of your crimes." Rachel didn't answer. Her eyelids began twitching uncontrollably. I'm gonna call the police. Kyle pulled out the phone and dialed the police. Hello, police. Said Kyle. I believe I found a criminal. Rachel began to run towards the exit. On her way, she swatted Kyle's phone out of her hand. Trip her. Kyle struck out his leg. Rachel stumbled and crashed to the floor. But in a moment, she was on her feet. She drew a blunt weapon seemingly out of thin air and started to swing at Kyle. Before Kyle had a chance to react, a figure burst through the roof and blocked Rachel's attack. And the middle-aged woman in a bug-shaped mask, she was brandishing a bug-shaped stick. The woman began to fight with Rachel, flicking her weapon back and forth with surprising speed. Rachel tried to fight back, but it was obvious she was no match for the trooper. With one quick move, the bug vigilante drew her foot high above her head and drove it straight into Rachel's hand. The weapon clattered to the floor. Rachel attempted to run again, but it was met with a stick to her legs. She fell at the feet of the police officer just arriving from Kyle's call. Rachel was charged with 7 cases of grand larceny. And her first month in jail, Rachel started a reality TV show filming her in her cell about prison cooking. The show gained immense popularity, and somehow the public began to love Rachel all the more. Kyle made guest appearances on Rachel's show many times. The identity of the bug vigilant was never known. She remained a mystery, but important part of local law enforcement. Rachel started a new show. That's so stupid, and I love it so much. Okay, I'm gonna try to. This is what I'm gonna do. We're gonna exit. No, let's browse social media. Scroll through the articles on his phone. Staying up late with Kyle reached #1 and #2 show on television. Read more. New East Bridge being constructed after found not actually existing. Authorities investigating. Read more. Another grand larceny and crime spree straight. Evidence points to proprietor fleeing the country. Rachel made an unexpected leave the country on very, very long vacation after interview tonight. Who is a bug vigilante recently spotted punishing larcenies. Kyle failed to show up for several charity events. Bug vigilante showed up to charity events with fresh baked pastries. Donations flourish. Hot dogs make reassurance as fuel source for humans, both humans and tugboats. Phone model recalled. Techno gym store blame overuse by customers. Kyle's phone exploded in his hands from overuse. All right, we're gonna open up the closet. So I want this to go right this time. All right, sit at desk. Write notes. Are you a mother? Diet tips. Funniest story. What's your guilty pleasure? Back to the desk. Back to room. Exit. Ooh, am I gonna have enough to eat? Oh, I really hope so. Open fridge. Prepare breakfast. Eat. Return to the kitchen. And return to hallway. Okay. Answer politely. I want this to actually go really well. Are you a mother? Because I already did that one. What's your funniest story? Okay. Are you guilty of your crimes? Kyle decided to move on. What's your guilty pleasure? We all have one. What's your guilty pleasure? Ooh, well, that's an easy answer, said Rachel, dipping pickles in chocolate sauce. It might sound strange, but it's tangy and sweet at the same time. I eat it far too often. Rachel smiled sweetly. Kyle asked another question. What are some diet tips? Rachel, you manage to keep such a thin and healthy figure, said Kyle. What's your best dieting tip? Well, a good diet starts with a plan, answered Rachel. And don't break it. Cheat days can turn into a habit. But, she continued, that doesn't mean a midnight snack here and there isn't allowed, she smiled. Kyle looked at his flabby self, deciding to not comment and move on. After reading his final question, Kyle looked up from his papers. Well, Rachel, he said, I think that's all I was planning on asking you. If that's the case, Kyle, may I ask you something in return? Asked Rachel, smiling one more time. Do you prepare for your interviews in advance? Because you seem very together. Before Kyle could answer, the camera shut down. The broadcast was over. Kyle returned home, knowing that interview had gone well. But he lay in bed and drifted to sleep. He felt that perhaps something was still missing. Kyle prepared very well. What would be missing? Huh. Kyle Santa is now available. What? No. Bad. Alright. I'm gonna end this episode here. I really enjoyed this because it was stupid and funny. and it was just great. Like, it really was. And there's so many endings. I don't think I'm gonna do them all. I think this is the only episode that I'm gonna do for this. But it was so fun for all the different like avenues and different paths you could take. Because I'm betting there's like a crazy amount of different things. I just loved. Are you guilty of your crimes? Whatever. But it was so stupid and I loved it. So, if you guys like this episode, leave a like, subscribe to see, other games, like, subscribe to see, like, other games that I play. Subscribe if you like this, because I play different weird games like this all the time. When you subscribe, make sure you hit the bell icon so that way you're notified when I upload new videos. But, as always, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye!